welcome to Mask Off with Meek. I'm so excited. It's another Tuesday. And wow, that week went by fast, right? But we're here once again and we're going to be talking about, are you a STD? So I want to ask you the question, are you an STD? Are you tired of being an STD? And I know you're thinking, what is she talking about? Well, I'm not talking about the STD you're thinking about, but are you something to do? Right? So when we're dating, we're going on dates and things. We live in a society now where pretty much anything goes, right? You have people that want to be a situationship. You have open relationships. You have exclusive relationships. You have all these different options. No one wants to commit. People are enjoying their options. No one wants to put all their eggs in one basket. So I think when you are thinking of dating and versus just going on a date, it's important to know the difference. So let me break that down. So if I'm going, someone say, hey, are you dating? I'm very clear in my communication. No, I go on dates. Because going on a date is, hey, meet me at Chili's at 7. We're going to get a 2 for 20 and we're going to split the ticket. Or, hey, let's meet me at the bowling alley. Let's go bowling. It could be a Netflix and chill. It can be, hey, let's go up to the gun range, right? That's just kind of like outings. You're just enjoying each other's company, just hanging out, right? With no strings attached, no attachments, right? But if I'm dating you, then that means I'm giving you a little more exclusive attention. That means I want you in my space. I enjoy you in my space. I'm communicating to you that I enjoy you and I want you around, right? So another way I let people know that I'm single when I'm asked, are you dating, is, well, I'm not dating exclusively, which means no one thinks they're in a relationship with me. Because sometimes when we think we're single, someone else thinks they're in a relationship with you. So I think it's very important to have those conversations and be very clear on where you stand when it comes to dating. So I'm going to be talking about some red flags. And so let's get into that. So I've jotted down a few common red flags that I want you guys to be aware of. You're probably already aware, especially if you've been single for some time. I'm sure you're very familiar with what's outside at this time. The times we live in is just crazy. So you want to look for these red flags. So let me start with saying, one of the top things on my list for a red flag is someone who is too eager to jump into a relationship. Sir, I just met you last week. I'm not ready to jump into a relationship. I'm not desperate. And I think a lot of times people confuse singleness for being desperate. Like you can't find anybody. There's plenty of women out there. There's plenty of men out there. But I'm looking for my person. And so I want to take my time. I want to marry my best friend. So I want to make sure that, hey, let's spend time together. Let's get to know one another in all 4 seasons. I highly recommend taking your time and getting to know people when things are great and when things are bad. Because then that's when you're going to be able to see, is this someone I can live with? Is this someone I can marry, right? Are they going to stand the rain with me? Or are they going to go running, right? So someone that wants to jump into a relationship really quickly is definitely a red flag for me. Another red flag is someone rushing to intimacy with me. Okay, I understand. Women, we have needs. Men, you have needs. But someone that's so quick and eager to just jump in the bed with you, that's a red flag for me, because now I'm wondering, well, how many other beds are you jumping in and out of? And speaking of STDs, have you had your STD? When's the last time you had an STD panel done on you, right? Because we have to be honest. I've looked at the rates here in the DFW area, and they are skyrocketing. And people are so comfortable with sleeping with men, sleeping with women. They mix and match, and you don't even know. You have to even ask the question, are you into women? Are you into men? Are you into both? Like, you have to ask these questions that I never thought I would have to ask, but you have to ask them now, right? So if people are ready to just jump into bed with you, that's a red flag, because I want you to get to know me, right? You want to know if I'm a clean person. How many partners do I have? When is the last time I had my STD panel done? I want to go on a couple of dates with you. I want to see if we're truly vibing, so we're not basing what we are building around sex. Okay, so this one's important. Someone that is always lying. pay attention to the lies. Because I feel like if you lie about something little, you'll lie about something big. And that lets me know that I can't trust you. You're not trustworthy. You're definitely not going to be loyal and faithful to me. Right? If someone's always gaslighting you, I'm finna do this, I was gonna come, and they always got excuses. They're full of excuses. Let's be honest, we all have our phones nearby. We make time for who and what we want to make time for. So if somebody's always, I'm finna, I was gonna, and they're not doing, I'm big on actions, right? Show me better than you can tell me kind of person, right? I would rather you show me and surprise me than you tell me and I'm left disappointed. So I'm big on do not introduce me to something that you cannot maintain. I don't want to see your mask sliding down, right? I don't want to see this person, you're transformed into a whole new creature after 6 months, right? You're gaslighting me because I fell in love with this version of you. That's not who you are today. So let's make sure we're not allowing people to gaslight us. Our heart is not a freeway for people to go back and forth, try to figure out what they want, who they want. No, you're not going to test drive me. You're going to figure out and let me know and communicate, let me know, hey, this is what it is, right? So if you're going to lie, you might as well keep walking because I'm not going to deal with that. Another big red flag is someone that disrespects your boundaries. If you've established boundaries, if you have not, I highly recommend that you always establish boundaries at hello. How are you? My name is, I'm 43 years old. I have 3 adult children. My favorite color is green. That's when you establish your boundaries and you let people know exactly from the gate what it is, right? You're laying that foundation because if you don't lay the foundation, how can you build? What are you building from, right? And if you don't have your boundaries set, then that's giving people room to manipulate you, to run all over you, to play in your face, right? To test drive you. Your heart is not a freeway to play games, right? But if you don't establish boundaries, people are going to see, how far can I go? She doesn't have boundaries. She doesn't even have respect for herself. She's never even mentioned what her boundaries are, or he's never even mentioned what his boundaries are. And a lot of times, even as women, we don't think that men have boundaries. But men, you should have boundaries too. Your no means no as well as the women when they say no, right? People have to know your boundaries. Someone that has poor communication. We are all hitting 30 plus, 40, 50, 60 plus, 70 plus. So at this point in our life, we are needing someone that knows how to communicate. I'm not looking for a build-a-man. You're not looking for a build-a-woman. You want someone that knows how to communicate properly. What are your do's? What are your don'ts? What are your boundaries? Right? What are we doing? What is your goals? Those types of things. What hurts your feelings? What are your triggers? Right? If I hurt your feelings or I upset you, instead of ghosting me, you communicate and say, hey, this offended me. This made me feel this way, right? Let's talk about it. Communication is going to be key in dating and even in your relationships and marriages is going to be important. Another red flag is someone that has inconsistent behaviors. Again, it goes back to that do not introduce me to something you cannot maintain. We want to make sure that people are consistent in their behaviors, right? I get it. We're all human. We have good days. We have bad days, right? Our circumstances change. So those are just common things that just kind of is a given. But if someone is always changing their mood, always changing their behavior, 1 minute they're all in, hey, good morning, boo. Good morning, queen. Good morning, handsome. To not hearing from them for weeks and months at a time. And then they think that they can just jump back in there at whenever they feel like it and just, hey, what you doing? No, nothing. Busy, living life without you. So let's make sure that we don't even fall or even entertain someone that's inconsistent. Because again, we teach people how we want to be treated. So if you are allowing someone to be inconsistent with you, that's saying I have no boundaries. I don't respect my own time. I don't respect my own energy. Because we give out energy. We can't get that back. So let's not entertain anyone that's inconsistent in their behavior. How we handle someone inconsistent is not any attention. That's how we teach people how to treat us. Another one is holding someone accountable, right? If someone lacks accountability, that's a red flag, because that lets me know you're probably a narcissist. You don't want to be corrected. You're always the victim in every story, right? You can never admit when you're wrong. Part of maturity is being able to admit when you're wrong, right? Here's the problem. What's the quickest way to the solution? Hey, I messed up. I shouldn't have did that. I didn't mean that. This is what I meant by that. It's okay. We have to be accountable for our own actions, right? And our reactions. Another one that I want to say, and I wanted to leave this one for last because it's very important, is someone that wants to isolate you from family and friends. This one can be dangerous because when someone wants to isolate you from family and friends, more than likely they're abusive. So do not allow people to isolate you from your family and friends. These are your family and friends. They were here before them. So I get it. You have to divide your time. But someone that wants to keep you away and have you all to themselves, that is a red flag. So I said all that to say, dating can be very fun, but it also can be complicated. It's all about what we put into it. It's all about our perspective. It's all about our boundaries, right? We create our reality by establishing boundaries, by saying, hey, these are my do's and don'ts. Hey, if I see these red flags, then guess what? They're not going to be flagging along because I'm going to put a stop to it. I'm going to keep moving on. So I think the important part of what I'm trying to say to you tonight is, if you have to question where you stand with someone, you're not standing. You need to move on. You are not a plan B, C, D, E, F, or G, right? You're more than something to do. You're more than an STD. You have to value yourself. You have to keep your mores and your standards, right? You cannot compromise to the point where you are not going to be happy. I don't care how much you're into someone. Guess what? If they were that into you, then they will meet you in the middle. So yes, dating comes with compromise. Marriages come with compromising. But at the same time, you do not want to change your character, change who you are just to fit in with whoever you think you want. Because sometimes what we think we want or we need is not what we need. Sometimes the grass looks greener on the other side, and it's not what you think. So stay prayerful in your dating. Be safe out here. Like I said, get your STD test. Make sure you're clean before you slide in and out of people's beds, right? Because that's important. We have to honor our bodies. Our bodies are temples, and we have to take good care of them. It's not only what you eat that you put in your body that's important. It's about who you sleep with, because there's a whole spiritual side of that as well. So we just got to be careful, making sure we create our own happiness and we're making ourselves happy. So when we're dating, you're just an added bonus to what I already give myself. I create my own peace. I create my own happiness. I enjoy my own company. I'm content in my singleness. Singleness is not a disease, right? I've said that before. It's not a disease. It's a choice. And so I'm not going to let you play with me. I'm not going to let you pick and choose when you want to be involved with me, right? Because what you want to do, somebody else will. So don't fumble the bag, guys. Women and men, do not fumble your bags. If you got a good person, you hang on to them, because it is very hard to find good, genuine people nowadays. Is every man for themselves. They're looking for a way to come up. And the one thing I want you to remember as well is that karma is a bee. And that karma bus will pull up on you when you least suspect it. So we have to treat people how we want to be treated. That's the golden rule. We learned that as children. You treat people how you want to be treated. We are raising sons and daughters, and we're being the example. So if I'm talking about using men for money and all this kind of stuff around my daughter, what am I teaching her? To be a gold digger, to be a manipulator. If you're a man and you're cheating on your spouse, or you're cheating on your significant other, and you're doing all this in front of your children, what are you teaching your sons? You can't be trusted. You're a cheater. You're not faithful. So we have to understand, you have a daughter. Would you want somebody to treat your daughter that way? You have a son. Would you want somebody to disrespect your son that way? So that's what I think about when I'm dating. Just how do I want to treat somebody, right? If it's not for you, it's okay to say, hey, I've enjoyed the time we've spent together. But you know what? I don't think this is a good fit. I don't think we're going to be able to go any further than this. People, they may be upset, their feelings may be hurt, but in most cases, people can respect that better than you dragging them along just as something to do. So, anyway, I hope you enjoyed this brief little reminder to look for those red flags. And when those flags are flagging, you're going to put those flags down, right? You're not going to entertain those flags. And you are more than an STD. You are more than something to do. Love on yourself even more. Set your standards high. Someone out there will respect your boundaries. And guess what? There's love for everybody. Your time may take longer than someone else's, but your time is coming. Wait your turn. The right person's going to love you the right way. Thank you for joining Mask Off with Meek. Until next time.